Alright, hi, welcome to Sonambula, which is just a short psychological horror game where you are just a person who's trying to do their laundry, and in just that single moment, you get lost in your thoughts. Is what you're seeing actually happening, or just simply something that's just twisted from your mind? I don't know if that even made sense, but yeah. So this game should be relatively short. It should be about like 10 minutes, and so yeah, without further ado, grab a cup of coffee and let's get going with Sonambula. I think that's how you pronounce it. Don't quote me on that. Actually don't know, so.
It's getting really late. Just want to get this done and go home. It's way too late for this job.
Load the washing machine. Oh, okay, sure. I did not expect there to be voice acting, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. How do I do this? E. Oh no, just that. Oh!
May as well see if this piece of junk has a signal.
Turn on the radio, okay.
And once again, good evening, Main Town. This is Sam Rivers. The time is exactly 11 p.m. Temperature outside is 45 degrees with patchy fog. Perfect weather to hunker down at home, wouldn't you say? Moving on to announcements. Owner of the great DWM, license XYZ782. Your headlights are on. Looking for the owner of a ginger cat named Marmalade in the 5th Street area. And, oh, here's an interesting one. Mrs. Edith from the 14th District asks, what to do if the faucets start running rusty water? Engineer Dave advises to first check the main risers. Often the problem isn't in your apartment, but somewhere deeper.
It says, suspicious man in a hat has been wandering the streets. Not just the streets. I spend all day dusting other people's things at the antique shop, and I spend the evening washing my own sweat away. He likes to bring his victims to quiet places to finish the job. Be careful. What the hell is going on here? An endless cycle of servicing. Dad used to say, cleanliness is a sign of order. Ironic. Because what do you do when said order is just a pretty packaging for chaos? Here we are, the laundromat. Packaging. Smells like fresh chemicals. The walls have mold. Fake. Boundaries are blurring. Where does me end and they begin? Maybe we're all just drums, tumbling with the same old sins of others until our faces wither away. Rusty water. It's like the house is bleeding out. Not blood. Memory. Memories of everyone who ever washed their laundry here. Shameful stains. And now it's leaking back.
What?
I didn't want to spend my money on a vending machine.
Okay, wait. So midway through the dialogue, I think it got interrupted by the bulletin board.
What the hell was that?
So I think the dialogue was supposed to proceed there, but then I accidentally clicked on it. Well, I didn't accidentally. I wanted to click on the bulletin board. So I think the dialogue was supposed to trigger naturally, but then I clicked on the bulletin board and it kind of overlapped to some weird degree. That's why I like the subject change midway through, which is, I guess. Okay, I guess that they're not accepting that. Oh, okay. Is it the other way? Oh yeah, here. Probably, right? Oh my god, this. Oh.
Oh, she's not done yet. These aren't my clothes.
Bro, the walking system. Oh my god, okay. This is so weird. Oh my god, okay. What the balls? Huh? Oh, I don't like this at all.
Water? Probably just leaked from one of the machines.
Oh. Oh no. Just walking is so difficult with this. Okay, never mind. I figured that. I need to use my mouse. Okay, got it. I think. At least. Maybe. Or not. Oh god. Okay. Hold up. I got this. Okay.
Why is this one running? Is someone else here? Okay, this is really creeping me out right now.
What do you mean? It was running when you were walking there anyways. Okay, there. Oh, wonderful. Are you not going to address the elephant in the room? Which is, you know. Okay. Oh, finally. Oh my god, finally. I'm free.
Oh, thank God, it's done.
You never know what is real. Okay, so that was, again, a very short experience. Now, how do I best describe this? So, first things first, I do want to say, I think the bulk of the game, which was sort of the pondering of our main character, was sort of interrupted, right? I interacted with the bulletin board before, as the character's dialogue was sort of going on. So that caused the dialogue, my bad, to sort of overlap. And I think that just that caused a bit of confusion as to the pacing and the whole dialogue. I think that could have been avoided by removing interactions as the dialogue sort of popped up. I don't know if that was meant to happen, because clearly our main character was rambling or just pondering. Right? He's like, oh, is anything ever like real? Like, this is like the memories of everyone who has been in this laundromat and whatnot. And then at some point he just says like, oh yeah, a serial killer bulletin board. What is going on here? Right? So there is that overlap, which shouldn't have happened. Right? So yeah, ideally you should have safeguards for that, where you can't necessarily interact with things as one line of dialogue is going on, or one line of dialogue happens and then you can't really trigger another line of dialogue, or else you get just overlap like what I got. So in terms of controls, I got so confused that I'm not used to playing this style of game, which is probably why I got more confused. But yeah, so essentially the best way I can describe this is, if your mouse isn't dictating where your character is looking, you basically end up with this weird crab walk. The best way to sort of navigate around would be to just hold down W and then just move your mouse around to sort of dictate where your character is looking. That's, I think, the best way to sort of move around. Now, the horror aspects. So obviously a lot of this hinges on our character's sort of sanity, right? So we see a lot of, is this just paranoia from our main character? Because we see the washing machine running, or the dryer, I don't remember what it was, and then of course we see the water puddle. Now, the thing is, were those two things already there? Is this just our main character psyching himself up? I don't know what the proper thingy-majiggy is, but is this just our main character's sort of paranoia. We don't know, and of course that contributes to it, because of course if you're like ever alone in the house, for let's say for example, right, and then you hear bad news, and then now suddenly seems like every corner in the house, every shadow seems to have some sort of entity. I think that's what this game is sort of leaning towards, right? You're not exactly sure whether or not there's actually a threat in the laundromat, or it's just our main character's sort of paranoia. And that is a sort of interesting thing to sort of juggle around with. Now, I definitely do think that 10 minutes isn't enough for the for the build up. I definitely do think that I like the ambiguity, right? I like the ambiguity of whether or not this is actually just paranoia or if this is actually reality. But I don't think that feeling of paranoia has settled in far enough, right? We've received just like 2 confirmations, right? That was the washing machine, the puddle, the lights turning off, and then the final jump scare do seem to be just more concrete evidence of it not being paranoia, of it being like actual reality. Right, it's too physical. It's not enough to sort of linger in your thoughts, because the moment that the lights turned off, you kind of figure out that, oh, now that's not really normal, especially in a horror game. Now, of course, it could be like a breaker blowing, but of course we didn't hear any of that sparking or whatever. So that sort of eliminates that possibility. So in that sense, it really does sort of separate, paranoia from what is actually like physical reality. Which leads us to our final jump scare, which is the shift from the third-person POV to first-person POV, which I think it can be done effectively in certain instances. Just not in this instance, I feel. So there is a way to do jump scares and whatnot effectively, even though you're not in first person. A game like that would be, for example, Faith, you get like a sort of RPG map-esque layout, for example, and there's still like things that are still scary because they just pop up. Here, the shift from third person to first person definitely seems a lot more for the sake of making the jump scare happen. Because for the entirety of the game, we were in third person. All the pondering happened in third person, all the walking happened in third person. For the most part, we were actually quite removed from our main character. It seemed that we were actually from more like security camera POV. And the sudden shift from third person to first person, I feel like it didn't really serve any purpose narratively besides just building up to the jump scare, which we knew was going to happen because of the lights turning off and whatnot, right? So I don't really think it helped much with the game. I think that it would be a lot more concerning if we maintained that sort of security camera POV and we just saw something just sneaking out from behind our main character and then our main character just turns around, sees it, and the game cuts there. I think that helps with maintaining the ambiguity of whether or not this is actually just thoughts, paranoia, or if it's actual reality. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my butt because I don't know. But it's definitely not enough time to build up that feeling of paranoia of whether or not this is just our main character's thoughts or if it's actually reality. I like the concept of it. I like a lot of the build up and whatnot, but I think stretching it would have definitely helped. And so yeah, that was Sonambula. Sorry, I can't pronounce it apparently. So currently the developer is seeking to raise funds for their third game. No, that would be fifth game actually. Yeah, it would be for their fifth game, I believe, or their fourth. So if you guys do want to help out with the devs work, do make sure to just pay their HIO page some attention. And of course, if you want, donate or purchase their games. And so yeah, make sure that you support indie devs and all that, because I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of things. Overall, like, it was quite well optimized. The voice acting was honestly quite a pleasant surprise, and overall it's obviously, again, there could be some work on polishing, especially with the safeguards and all that stuff, but I had a good time with it. It was like 10 minutes long, not that much time, but they still managed to do a decent amount of work within that time. I don't know why I said that so weirdly, but yeah. Alright, so hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when and where you guys are. Of course, feel free to play their games, feel free to support all of these amazing people. And so yeah, see you, bye bye, take care, bye.